A toxic person controls you the moment you react. Their words enter your mind and rearrange your entire day. You become the storm they created. You replay their comments while driving home. You lose sleep over someone who sleeps fine. You give your peace to people who never asked permission. 2,000 years ago, a former slave named Epictetus solved this problem. What he taught his students still works today. By the end, you will see toxic people differently. Epictetus was born into slavery in ancient Rome. His master broke his leg, leaving him crippled for life. Yet he became one of the wisest teachers in history. He had every reason to hate, every reason to be bitter, every reason to be controlled by the cruel people around him. Instead, he discovered a single mental rule. This rule made him untouchable. Even chained, he was freer than his masters. Most people fight toxic people the wrong way. They argue, they explain, they try to win. They drain themselves on people who feed on the drainage. You know this feeling well. The coworker who poisons every meeting, the family member who turns dinners into battlefields, the friend who only calls when bleeding emotionally. You try to be patient. You try to be kind. You try to fix them. Yet you walk away feeling smaller every time. Epictetus saw the trap clearly. He understood what modern adults still miss. Toxic people are not the problem. Your reaction to them is. This sounds harsh at first. It is not. It is the most freeing sentence you will ever hear about people. Here is the principle Epictetus built his entire philosophy on. Some things are in your control. Most things are not. Everything turns on this distinction. Other people are not in your control. Their words are not in your control. Their moods, opinions, attacks, and games are not yours to manage. But your response is yours alone. Your interpretation is yours alone. Your peace is yours alone, unless you give it away. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. It is the foundation stone of mental freedom. Without it, toxic people own you. Marcus Aurelius wrote about this exact pattern in his journal. He ruled an empire surrounded by liars, flatterers, and traitors. He still kept his inner calm. He wrote that other people cannot disturb your soul. Only your judgment of them can. The insult lives in your mind, not in their words. This is the part most people never realize. The mind creates more suffering than the toxic person ever does. They throw the dart. You hold it. Imagine a person yelling at a statue. The statue feels nothing. The yelling person eventually tires and walks away. Epictetus taught his students to become the statue. Not cold, not numb, not absent, simply unreachable in the part of you that matters most. They cannot enter unless invited. But the Stoics took this even further. They understood why we react to toxic people in the first place. The reason will surprise you. We react because we secretly believe they have power over us. We give that power through our attention. Attention is the currency toxic people steal. A toxic person without your reaction is a fire without oxygen. They burn out fast. Your reaction is what keeps the flame alive. Epictetus told his students something brutally simple. If someone speaks badly of you, do not defend. Do not explain. Ask only if their words are true. If true, improve. If false, smile and walk on. Either way, you do not lose your peace. Either way, you stay sovereign. Now imagine applying this tomorrow at work. The coworker drops a subtle insult in the meeting. Your old self would burn for hours. Your new self pauses. Your new self asks the inner question. Is this in my control? No. Then it returns to the breath and the work. This is the inner citadel the Stoics spoke of, a fortress inside your mind that no person can breach. Toxic people knock, they never enter. Seneca wrote letters about difficult people throughout his life. He served under the Emperor Nero, possibly the most toxic man in history, yet Seneca kept teaching. He wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. The toxic person says one sentence. We replay it 1,000 times. We are the torturer now. Seneca built a daily practice for this. Each evening, he reviewed his day. He asked what disturbed him and why. He cut the unnecessary suffering at the root. You can do the same tonight. Take 5 minutes before sleep. Ask which person disturbed you today and which part was actually theirs. Most of your disturbance will not be theirs. It will be your mind continuing the conversation. They left hours ago. You kept playing the recording. This is the practical method Epictetus would teach you. It has 3 simple steps. Each takes seconds to apply. Step 1 is the pause. Between their action and your reaction, insert one slow breath. In that gap lives your entire freedom. Step 2 is the question. Ask silently, is this within my control? If their words, moods, or judgments are not yours, release immediately. Step 3 is the return. Return to your purpose. Return to your work. Return to the version of yourself you want to be today. Practice this for 7 days with the most toxic person in your life. Something strange will happen. They will lose interest in you. Toxic people seek emotional reaction. When the reaction stops, the targeting stops. You become invisible to them in the best possible way. Comment below which type of toxic person drains you most. The coworker, the family member, the partner, or the so-called friend. Write the word that fits. If this perspective is shifting something for you, drop a single word in the comments. Control. That word alone tells me you understand. Now back to the deeper layer most teachers skip. Why does this practice fail for most people at the start? The answer is honest. You are addicted to being right. You want them to see what they did. You want acknowledgement. You want apology. None of this is coming. The Stoics taught that waiting for a toxic person to change is borrowing pain from the future. They may never change. Your life is happening now. Cato the Younger, a Roman senator known for unbreakable courage, lived this truth. He never argued for approval. He stood by his principles and let others rage. You can stand the same way, not in arrogance, in quiet certainty, the certainty that your peace is not negotiable anymore. Apply this to the work scenario. A boss criticizes unfairly in front of others. The old you defends, explains, burns inside. The new you listens, breathes, and chooses. Apply this to the family scenario. A parent makes a cutting remark at dinner. You used to swallow it and brood. Now you smile and continue eating in peace. Apply this to the relationship scenario. A partner picks a fight over nothing. You no longer match the energy. You respond from the citadel, not the wound. Apply this to the friendship scenario. A friend constantly complains and never asks about you. You set quiet limits without announcement. Energy flows back to you. In every scenario, the principle is the same. They cannot disturb your soul unless your judgment lets them. The lock is on your side of the door. This is the Stoic secret level few reach. You stop seeing toxic people as enemies. You start seeing them as teachers of your own mastery. Every toxic interaction becomes a training ground. Every cruel comment becomes a chance to practice. They sharpen the blade of your inner discipline. Epictetus said that difficulties show what people are made of. The wrestler does not curse his opponent. He uses the resistance to grow stronger. Toxic people are the resistance training of the soul. You do not need to thank them. You only need to stop being shaped by them. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. The same toxic people exist. They still do their patterns. But none of it lands the way it used to. You walk through their storms untouched. You sleep peacefully again. You stop replaying conversations that never deserved a second thought. This is the mental fortress Marcus Aurelius described, built brick by brick, one practice pause at a time, one released judgment after another. We cannot control what they do. You can only control your response. Your peace was never in their hands. It was always in yours. Toxic people are not the storm. They're the weather. You are the sky behind it. The sky is never harmed by the clouds. Epictetus, born a slave, died one of the freest minds in history. He never escaped Rome. He escaped something far more important. He escaped reaction. You can do the same starting tonight. You do not need new circumstances. You do not need new people. You need one new practice. Tonight, before sleep, write down one toxic person who disturbed you this week. Beside their name, write what was actually in your control. Tomorrow morning, choose one interaction in advance. Decide ahead of time that you will pause, question, and return. Apply it once. Just once. Then do it again the next day. And the next. Within 7 days, your inner world will feel quieter than it has in years. If this video gave you one useful idea, share it in the comments. Tell me which Stoic concept landed hardest for you today. Subscribe to Stoic Mind Reset for more ancient practices applied to modern life. Each video gives you one tool for the unbreakable mind. The unbreakable mind is not born, it is built, one Stoic practice at a time. Welcome to the path. Tonight, write down the name of one toxic person who disturbed your peace this week. Beside their name, list what was actually within your control. Tomorrow, choose one interaction in advance and apply the three-step practice. Pause for one breath, ask, "Is this in my control?" and return to your purpose. Repeat for 7 days with the same person and observe how quickly they lose emotional access to you.